Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and today I'm here to do my November in and out. So if you've not seen one of these videos, what I do is tell you everything that I hauled for the month as well as everything that I unhauled for the month. So looking at my stack, it looks like I nailed it because I have one book that I hauled and a whole bunch that I'm unhauling. However, I am also going to include my library book haul, my library book sale haul in this video because that happened this month. And so I made a spreadsheet a few months ago that had every book that I owned on it. And watching that number go down and like deleting rows as I read them is so life-giving to me. But it was a rough time. My parents were here because my husband was out of town. My kids were sick. There was a lot going on. And escaping to the library book sale with just one kid for a little bit was too tempting not to do. So I went and got a fair amount of books. So let's just get into it. We'll do the unhaul first, then my middle grade haul, and then my adult haul. So I will try to leave times down below if there's only one part you want to see, but let's get into it. Okay, so for the unhaul, these are all just going to be books that I have read and didn't love, so I'm going to pass them on to somebody else. The Boy Who Has Raised a Dog and Other Stories from a Child Psychiatrist's Notebook by Bruce Perry. This one actually was really fascinating, but I definitely won't read it again. Sunday Kind of Love by Dorothy Garlick. Again, I just talked about this in this week's wrap-up, so you will see more of my thoughts on that. Same with Magnolia Sisters and Sweet Pea Summer by Alice Murray. Very mediocre romances for me. Don't need to keep them on my shelf. No Place Like Home by Mary Higgins Clark. One of her old ones, but it was good. Don't need to keep it. Summer Girls by Mary Alice Monroe. And then these books, your 2-year-old, your 5-year-old, these are not in order, your 2, 3, and 5-year-old. These are really old books that were written in the 60s or 70s, just about child development. And I read your 6-year-old and I'm going to unhaul it too. Actually, I didn't pull it down just because these are obviously really outdated and they make pretty broad generalities about kids that I have found to be kind of untrue of my kids. And just, I don't know. They're just not that helpful. Then we have The Sunday Wife by Cassandra King. I DNF'd this one. And this one, The Intern by Michelle Campbell. Read it and didn't love it. So it's going to a new home. Oh, one more. Bonding with the Blonde Women and Other Stories of God's Grace by Ellie LaFaro. So Ellie LaFaro is a speaker that I saw at a women's conference. And I thought like her tone of writing is really great. But these are all just 2 or 3 page short stories about different life experiences she's had. And then in the last paragraph, she tries to like tie it to scripture. Some of them were, or like God's grace, I guess. Some of them were so far-fetched that I was like, all right, we're going to let this go. So there's that. Okay, so now on to the middle grade haul. I actually hauled more middle grade than what I'm going to show you, but a lot of them were Christmas books or things. So I put them immediately with our Christmas stuff, and a couple of them my kids snatched right away. So I'm just going to show you what I've got here. And we've got the Erie Elementary series. I don't know if this is all of it or not, but we've got Erie Elementary, The School's Alive. The Locker Ate Lucy, Recess is a Jungle, The Science Fair is Freaky, and School Freezes Over. So I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about these, but this like Branches Publishing generally does pretty good stuff. And these are books that my daughter could definitely read independently, especially for spooky season. I got them in November after kind of spooky season, but I'm going to put them in our closet for next spooky season and hope that these are great. If you've read them, let me know. Then we've got the Berenstain Bears, Bear Scouts and the Sci-Fi Pizza. We like these Berenstain Bears books. They are ones that my daughter can read independently again. And yeah, knowing the characters and all of that is really fun. So, and they are by Stan and Jan, not their son, which is interesting. Because a lot of them, Stan died, and their son started writing with them. And so there's that. Then What is the Constitution? Another one that I'm just excited to have on our shelves. First Kids. This one I just thought was interesting, especially as we were talking about the elections, the kids in the White House and what that might look like. Our president, obviously currently, and our soon-to-be president do not have little kids, but it's interesting to know what life was like for them. Then An American Girl, Isabel by Lawrence Yep. And this one I got from a little free library. I'm kind of low-key collecting all the American Girl books that I can find. And so there's this one. Then When Stars Are Scattered, which is a wonderful graphic novel about two brothers who are, they live in a refugee camp in Kenya, and our older brother, or the younger brother, has some special needs, and the older brother really takes care of him and is also trying to balance like his opportunity to go to school with his necessity to take care of his family and his brother. And it was so good. This is something that my daughter is interested in. I think the whole idea of refugees and stuff is something that I want to talk about with her. And there are quite a few words on each page. So this is not a super young graphic novel, but boy, is it good. Then Nancy Drew Diaries, Once Upon a Thriller. I'm kind of collecting these two just because I love Nancy Drew as a kid, and my daughter has yet to get into it, but I like these and thought this might be a good like intro. And then A to Z Mysteries, the Talking T-Rex. We have a lot of the A to Z mysteries, and I just find fill-ins when I can. So there's that. So that's the end of the middle grade haul. Now let's get into the adult. I have a few different stacks. So let's just get into it. Okay, the only one that I got from a little free library as opposed to the library book sale was What Happened to the Bennetts by Lisa Scottolini. So I love Lisa Scottolini. I really like her writing, and she writes thrillers as well as memoirs, and her memoirs are funny. Her thrillers have been good. So as much as I don't love the mass market, I'm excited for this. This says, your family has been attacked, never again to be the same. Now you have to choose between the law and justice. So that's all I'm going to read. But this says, her most emotionally intense nail biter to date. So that's high praise. I'm excited to see if it's true. Then these are going to be in no particular order. We're just going to go through them. Okay, we've got The Beach Club by Ellen Hildebrand. This is her debut novel. And again, I don't love the mass market paperback, but this is so, let's see when this was published. 2000. So this copy anyway was 2000. So this is A Special Place, An Unexpected Passion, and the Summer They Would Never Forget. Gorgeous Nantucket is an island where memories are made, friendships begun, passions ignited. Now, during one unforgettable summer, the exclusive Nantucket Beach Club and Hotel will shape the fates of the men and women who walk through its doors. So we've got 5 different people. Yeah, and it's her debut, so I had to get it. Then we have The Country Guest House by Robin Carr. This is a part of her Sullivan's Crossing series, and I have read the first 3 maybe and enjoyed them all well enough that I put them on my list of things to just kind of keep an eye out for. So this is about Hannah. It says, an emotional and triumphant novel about new beginnings and the fierce power of a mother's love, which really, that's all you have to say. But Hannah Russell suddenly becomes a guardian to a 5-year-old, and she's terrified she's not up to the challenge. She and Noah need to get to know each other, so she rents a country house on a lake in rural Colorado. When they arrive at the house, they are greeted by the owner, a handsome man who promises to stay out of their way. But his clumsy Great Dane, Romeo, has other ideas. Noah bonds with the dog, and Owen Abrams can't help but be drawn out of his solitude by his guests. As life throws challenges at this unlikely trio, they're tested in ways they never thought possible. All 3 will discover their strengths, and despite their differences, they'll fight to become a family. Cute. Then Love Warrior by Glennon Doyle. I have read this before and just love it. So it's got deckled edges, which I don't love, but it was $1 at the library book sale, so we had to bring a copy home. Then Submerged by Danny Petrie. I think I've got the others. This is a Christian fiction author that I've heard a lot about. This is about Bailey Craig vowed never to set foot in Yancey, Alaska again. She has a past reputation in Yancey's town that is a town that doesn't forget. She returned only to bury a loved one killed in a plane crash, but then dark evidence emerges and Bailey's expertise becomes invaluable for the case. Then we also get his perspective, and so there's that going on. I've heard great things. Probably, I think, was it Amanda from I don't know who it was, actually. I don't know who it was, but somebody just recently talked about this, so I saw it and grabbed it. Then we have Eve's Daughters by Lynn Austin. So Lynn Austin is another Christian fiction author that writes really chunky books, and so far I've really liked what I've read by her. This is 428 pages. Yearning for love and dignity, 4 generations of women must come to grips with the choices they've made and those their mothers made before them. But breaking that cycle has ensnared them over the decades. Will prove more difficult than they'd ever imagined. 80-year-old Emma Bauer has carefully guarded a dark secret for more than 50 years, but when she sees her granddaughter's marriage begin to unravel, Emma realizes that her lies are about her own marriage have poisoned those she loves most. So, yeah, I think this is really interesting to think about and read about. Let's see. This was published in 1999, so also kind of an oldie but a goodie. Then The Myth of You and Me by Leah Stewart. I don't know anything about this. It says, when Cameron was 15, she and Sonia were best friends. So close it seemed nothing would ever come between them. Now Cameron is a 29-year-old research assistant with no meaningful ties to anyone except her aging boss, historian Oliver Doucette. Nearly a decade after the incident that ended their friendship, Cameron receives an unexpected letter from her old friend. Despite Oliver's urging, she doesn't reply. But when he passes away, Cameron discovers that he has left her with one final task: to track down Sonia and hand deliver a mysterious package to her. So this is, I think, a friendship thing more than a romance, but we'll see. Then Emily and Einstein. You guys, I'm a sucker for a cute dog on a cover. It says a novel of second chances about an up-and-coming New York City editor whose life is everything she imagined it would be. She has a job she loves, lives in a beautiful Upper West Side apartment with her husband, but everything changes in one night when her husband dies in a tragic accident, and Emily is stunned to discover that their marriage was made up of lies. So that's all I need to know. Then The Little Lady Agency. This is, gosh, why trade up if you can fix him up? This sounds like something super cheesy. When was this written? It also sounds like something that I will love, like an early 2000s, somewhat problematic, 2005, potentially women's fiction, kind of a la Sophie Kinsella. So I'm not sure. It says Melissa can bake a perfect sponge cake, type her little heart out, and plan a party blindfolded, but none of that has helped her get far in life or in love. When she gets fired again, she decides to market her impeccable social skills to single men. To avoid embarrassing her father, a member of parliament, Melissa dons a blonde wig and becomes Honey, a no-nonsense bombshell who helps clueless bachelors shop, entertain, and navigate social minefields. She even attends parties if the client needs a date, but when a dashing American starts to request Honey's services on a regular basis, it's only a matter of time before Honey and Melissa's worlds collide. There we go. And I know this is a series. This first one feels really chunky. It's over 400 pages, so we'll see. Then we have The Friends We Keep by Jane Green. So Jane Green is another kind of OG women's fiction author that I have loved. And this one is about Evie, Maggie, and Topher. They've known each other since college. Their friendship was something they swore would last forever. Now years have passed. The friends have drifted apart, and they never found the lives they wanted, the lives they dreamed of when they were young and everything seemed possible. So, their 30th reunion, and they come back in touch. Okay. Now we've just got the bag left. So we got a couple of Christmas books. We'll just kind of see what we got. So we've got Susan Mallory, The Christmas Wedding Guest. I think this is a standalone, maybe. I just talked about these in my December TBR Christmas book spotlight, so I won't talk a lot about this. Then also The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I think this is the same trope as The Holiday, the movie, where they switch spots and see, this one's very floppy, and obviously it's got stickers and that kind of stuff, but I'm excited to read it. Then we've got We Are Called to Rise, and this is by Laura McBride, and this one is about far from the neon lights of the Vegas Strip, three lives are about to collide. A middle-aged woman attempting to revive her marriage, a returning soldier waking up in a hospital bed with no memory of how he got there, and a very brave 8-year-old immigrant boy. This is a story about families, the one we have and the ones we make. It's a story about America today, where so many cultures and points of view collide and coexist. Told in 3 pitch-perfect voices, Laura McBride's deeply moving debut shows what happens when the protective borders of our lives are suddenly smashed, and how ordinary strangers can rise to the extraordinary challenge of caring for each other. That sounds so good. Goodness, my stacks are growing. Let's see. A Single Thread by Marie Bostwick. Is this a part of a series? I looked it up before I got it, but this is 4 very different women whose path crossed, changing their lives forever. I feel like that's all I need to know. But it's a long way from Fort Worth, Texas to Newbern, Connecticut, yet it only takes a day in the charming Yankee town to make Evelyn Dixon realize she's found her new home. The abrupt end of her marriage was Evelyn's wake-up call to get busy chasing her dream of opening a quilt shop. Finding a storefront's easy enough, starting a new life isn't. Little does Evelyn imagine it will bring a trio like Abigail Burgess, her niece Liza, and Margot Matthews through her door. So, bonding over quilting. That sounds great. Sounds great. Then we've got, I've got a bunch in a series here, so I'm trying to not get all of those. But Love Finds You in Hope, Kansas. So this Love Finds You series is one I never knew, but there were 2 books from Kansas. So let's see if we can find the other. Nope. Pause 1 second. Okay, here's the other one. Love Finds You in Sunflower, Kansas. So we have Hope, Kansas, and Sunflower, Kansas. I think these are, let's see, romance novels and novellas. She lives with her husband and young son in Nebraska. Oh, but these are by different authors. So interesting. This Love Finds You series, I know nothing about it, but it's obviously a romance. These 2 are set in Kansas, so I figured I'd try it. Then we have The Two House Family by Linda Cohen Loigman, who is an author that I've read a book or 2 from, maybe, and really I want to try more. So this is her debut, which is interesting. In the midst of a blizzard in a 2-family brownstone, 2 babies are born minutes apart. The mothers are sisters by marriage, dutiful, quiet Rose, who wants nothing more than to please her difficult husband, and warm, generous Helen, the exhausted mother of 4 rambunctious boys who seems to need her less and less each day. Raising their families side by side, supporting one another, Rose and Helen share an impenetrable bond forged before and during that dramatic winter night. So, yeah, this sounds really interesting to me. Then we have True Believer by Nicholas Sparks. I feel like Nicholas Sparks is my new Mary Higgins Clark, where I'm picking up everything of his that I'm finding for cheap. And I don't know why, because Nicholas Sparks writes emotional romances. This is one I have not read, so here it is. Oh, and then here's Shattered, the other one, book 2 in the Alaskan Courage series by Danny Petrie. So there's that. Then we've got, let's see, The Proving by Beverly Lewis. I love me a Beverly Lewis Amish book, so I don't know if this is a standalone or the first in the series, but I know that I looked it up and I bought it anyway. And then we have some more Amish stuff. We've got some Amy Clipston, who I have never read, but these are Hearts of the Lancaster Grand Hotel. So it's the first 3 or else 1, 2, and 4. We've got A Hopeful Heart, A Simple Prayer, and A Mother's Secret. I'm not sure if these you have to read in order or if it is okay, like if it's just all about this hotel. I'm guessing it has a family tree, so I'm guessing they're all connected. Family trees, so maybe each one's about a different family. They've even got a glossary of like Amish words. So I don't know, you guys, I love these books. They're floppy. Then we have another Amy Clipston. This is not related to this series, but The Bake Shop. This is a standalone about a bake shop. So yeah, I'm excited. Then I think that's it. I think that is all of the books that I got in this library book sale and everything else in November. So if you are interested, I should have done it in my In and Out video, but if you're interested in knowing how many books are on my shelf, it's now just below 400. So I started at like 418 when I made the spreadsheet, got it to like almost 375. Now it's back up to about 400, but I'm gonna get through this, and in the new year, I think I'm going to try to update those numbers more frequently because I really want to get to 300. It's arbitrary. I don't know why, but I've got to stop doing big hauls like this. So we'll see if it happens. But that is everything. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.